Hello everyone, let us talk today about the concept of addition and subtraction of integers using a number line. I find a lot of students are confused about how to use a number line. So number line is nothing but a line which is a representative of all the numbers that can be expressed on it. So when we draw a number line, we have a 0 in the middle, and the right side of the number line, it has all the positive integers, and the left side of the number line has all the negative integers. So they are like complements. The negative numbers are complements to, they're just the opposite of the positive numbers. So if you have a 1 over here at exactly the same distance, on the left hand side you will have a -1. So if there is 2 over here on the right hand side, exactly the same distance from 0, you will have a -2 on the left hand side. So they're complementary numbers but on the opposite side of the number line. So I hope that you have the concept of integers, which is the negative numbers and the positive numbers. Now let us talk about the basic operations. The most confusing operations that the students find is the addition and subtraction of integers. So with the help of the number line, we can understand very well as to how to do these operations. I will also, side by side, I will tell you about how to do it numerically as you are taught in the class to solve it in the copy. So let us take up a question where you say you have to add -3 plus 4. Let us say this is a question that you have to solve, -3 plus 4. Now the starting point is -3. So let us say we start at -3. We stand at -3. I stand over here, and then this plus means that I need to move this plus sign. This plus sign is the operating sign. This means you have to add 4 to -3. First we need to understand the question. So what it's saying over here is you need to add 4 to the -3 number. So over here, when we say you have to add something, we tend to shift towards the right. That means I should be moving in the right direction. I should be moving towards the right direction. So my process, proceedings should be in this direction. And then, but before I proceed, I have to look at this number. So this number is always also positive. So since this number is also positive, I will continue to move in this side. This number is in complement with the sign or with the operative sign. So the operative sign and this sign, both of them are positive. So we are moving in the positive direction, in the right hand side direction. So all we need to do is we need to move 4 places. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we arrive at 1 over here, which should be our answer. Now if you are solving it numerically, now you remember, with the according to the laws of integers, whenever there are 2 opposite signs, the operation, in case of opposite signs, the operation is always subtraction. Opposite signs mean subtraction, right? So you simply subtract the smaller number from the larger number, and you forget about the signs for a while. You simply subtract the smaller number from the larger number and you get 1. And the sign that this number will carry is the sign, as I like to call it, the Bada Bhai. So the Bada Bhai is 4 over here and it is carrying a plus sign. So the sign over here will be +1, which is just what we got from over here. Now let us reverse this. Let us say if the question is like 4 minus 3. So you have to do +4 minus 3. Let us say you have to solve this. So now what happens? We begin at 4, right? We start at 4 over here, and next the operative sign is, which is the operative sign? Can you see it over here? The operative sign is minus. That means I need to turn towards left. So I should be doing something which is making me go left. And now I look at the next number, which is 3. And with 3 over here, when you remove this sign, the operative sign, when you remove it, then what you get? The +3. That means This 3, it is saying okay, you go ahead, you don't need to move into opposite direction because there is no conflict over here. So what you do is you continue to move in this, you turn leftwards, so you continue to move 3 steps over here, and you move and you arrive at 1 once again. So the answer over here is 1. So we know that in integers the order does not matter. Now let us take up another question where we have let us say -3 minus 4. So we need to find what this is going to be. So we start at -3 over here, right? We start at -3. Let me use a different color. We start at -3. Now the operation is negative, right? The operative number is minus or subtraction number. So that means I will need to proceed in this direction. Now I have to look at the next number. What is it telling me? Is it telling me to continue moving in this direction, or is there a conflict? No, this is a positive number. So there is no conflict, and I continue to move 4 steps in this direction, and I arrive at -7. So this is how I get -7 over here. Now if you solve it numerically using the laws of integers, not the number line, then you know that same signs, if you have the same signs, then it means that the operation is that of addition, right? So you simply add up these two and you get 7, and you keep the sign because the sign, there is no other sign over here, right? So you will get -7 as the answer, which we got over here. Now let us say you get a question which is like -3 plus -4. Now what happens over here? So -3, we start at -3 over here. Let me change the color once again so that it is easier to identify. Oh, sorry, let me make it black. Okay, so we start at -3 over here, right? This is where we begin our journey. Then it says plus. The operative sign is addition. So that means we are moving in this direction. I turn to move in this direction. But the next number is an opposite sign number. It is a negative number. It is in opposite sign. So it tells me to reverse my sign. So reverse my direction. So I reverse my direction and I move ahead 4 steps in this direction, and I arrive at -7. So the answer over here will be -7. Now, if you solve it with laws of integers, you write -3, and the sign, when the sign outside the bracket is positive, then no signs change. So this again becomes -3, -4, and we know same signs, the operation is addition, so we add up and we retain the sign. Now what about 3 plus -4? So we start at 3 over here. We start at this point and it says plus, right? So that means I need to move in this direction. I need to move from 3 in this direction. But when I look at the next number, it is giving me a minus sign, a negative sign. That means I need to reverse the direction and I need to move 4 steps in the opposite direction. So what I will do is I will move 4 steps from this side. 1, 2, 3, and I'll arrive at this point over here from 3, and the answer that I get is -1, right? So now when you look at, when you try to solve it using the laws of integers, what do you get? 3 plus, the outside sign is plus, the inner sign will not change. So this will be -4. So one is plus, one is minus. There are different signs, opposite signs. So the operation is subtraction. So you simply subtract the smaller number from the larger number. And as for the sign, as I say, bada bhai sign. So bada bhai is 4 over here. So it will retain the sign of minus. Now let us check out -3 minus -4, right? So let us again start with -3, and let me use another color over here so that it becomes easier for me. So minus 3, we'll start at minus 3 over here. So this is the point we started, and okay, let me make it, this is getting too crowded, so let me just change it to minus 5. Let us change it to minus 5. All right, so minus 5 minus 4. So let us start at minus 5 over here. So I'm starting over here, and then the sign over here, the operative sign is minus, so that means I will tend to move in this direction. But here it says to move, the sign here is a negative sign, so minus sign, so it will ask me to turn my direction once again and move 4 steps in the opposite direction. So this means opposite. Whenever you have a minus sign inside the bracket, it means move in the opposite direction. So whenever you have a plus sign in the bracket, it means continue to move in the same direction. So I will have to move in the opposite direction. I will need to move 4 steps. So from 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I arrive at minus 1 over here. Now let us solve it using the laws of integers. So minus 5, this is minus sign outside the bracket. So this means the sign inside the bracket will change. So this becomes plus 4. Opposite signs operation is subtraction. So you get 1. Sign of bada bhai, which is minus 1. So this is the answer that we arrive at. So this is how you solve the addition and subtraction of integers using a number line. I hope that this lesson was easy for you. Thank you so much for watching this lesson.